great big high five to everyone out there. My name is Terry Jones and I'm with Girls Rock Dallas. And today I'm going to talk to you about what do you do, how do you drum without a drum set? And what are your options? Well, just because you don't have drums doesn't mean that you can't learn drums, you can't practice drums. That's not at all what it means. In fact, there are things that you can do with items around your house. You can take a whole bunch of different things and just use your imagination. Now, what you need is something that is metal that can act as your cymbals or your hi-hat. You need something for a floor tom, a snare, and a couple of toms up top. So today, let's think about this. I went around my house and I found my kids' trash can. Now kids, before you use anything in your house, be sure that it's okay with your mom or dad, because we don't want to make them upset. So one of the things that's really useful is using a trash can such like this. Now, you can use this as a floor tom or you can use this as a hand drum. You can get quite a nice sound out of it. You can vary your hand positions. Another thing that you can do with this as a hand drum is practice your hand rudiments. The rudiments just with your hands, okay? And that's one of the things that you can do. Now, but I want to try to learn how to play the kit. So what I'm going to do is use this as my floor tom. The next thing we need to do is pick out something to represent our toms. I went through the cabinets and found this Tupperware, well, Rubbermaid container. It'll make a noise, it'll do. Another great thing to use for your practice set is a bucket. This is a bucket I use to wash my car. It'll do the job. Well, now I have two toms and a floor tom. What do I need next? That's right, I need a snare. Now what I'm using today to demonstrate that boxes work, I'm going to use this box as my snare. You can put some jingly things in there to represent your snare. You can maybe crinkle up some foil. You can tape on plastic folders to get a razzmatazz kind of sound. Today, I'm just keeping it simple. Next, we need something metally to represent our hi-hat and or cymbals. What I found was this cast iron skillet. Now this is really heavy, and wow, it sounds great. So I'm going to use this to represent cymbals, particularly my hi-hat. Another thing you can use is a metal colander if you have it. It gives a little bit different sound. Most people have canned goods in their pantry, so use that. Anything that you can find that might make a little metally sound will work. Now you can see that all you need is a chair to add to this. Now I utilize the chair and put my toms around with my hi-hats over on the left. You can see my floor tom. And I'm gonna use this as my practice kit. Now, a disclaimer that I'd like to let you know is that I'm left-handed. So I play the drums a little bit differently. I play on a right-handed kit, but I play what they call open. So whatever your dominant hand is, whether it's left or right, and you're playing on a right-handed kit, you're gonna use your dominant hand for the hi-hat. So if I'm right-handed, I'm gonna use my right hand. If I'm left-handed, I'm going to use my dominant hand on the hi-hat. Now, most of the things that you're going to do when you're doing your toms is you're going to lead with your right hand. And I know if you're really closely looking at this video, I messed up. But it's okay as long as you get it done. Whenever you mess up, you just keep going. So how's that sound? That's my snare and my tom. One of the things that I'd like you to do over the summer is practice tom exercises, and this will help you go around the kit, and it'll also help you with fills. So we're going to start with the first one. Now, all of you that have been playing drums, this is very, very beginner drum information. I'm going to slow it down. Ready? Set it. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And what you're trying to do there is you're trying to get through, and this is going to help you with fills. Fills are the fancy part of playing drums in a song. It is the transition. Sometimes people will play a solo during this fill time. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a couple of patterns. That was 1 E and a 2 E. And remember, we're going to take it slow because you want to build the muscle memory, okay? And don't give up. You can just keep going. Now, one thing that I will suggest is utilizing a metronome. A metronome, some people refer to it as the click track. It's going to keep you steady on the beat. And the earlier you can utilize this, the better drummer you will be. You will be able to keep an internal beat no matter what you're playing. So we did the 1 E and a 2 E. Now let's do 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Remember, keep it slow. And do that, and as you get better at it, as you feel more comfortable, bump it up 5 beats per minute. And sooner you'll be just whipping right through those. Now let's try another exercise. It's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Now, there's those exercises. Start out about 60 beats per minute. If that's too fast, go ahead and lower it. And then just keep increasing it. a little bit at a time. You don't need to get to 300 beats per minute. Of course, I'm exaggerating a bit, but there's no need in going full board in one day. Gradually move up, because you want to make sure that you're playing it steady and you have good muscle memory. But most of all, it's important to have fun. So now what I would say is, once you've kind of mastered those patterns, then what you want to do is, now remember, I'm going to play open. So where are you going to put what hand are you going to use for your hi-hat? If you're right-handed, you're going to use your right dominant hand, right? I'm left-handed, so I'm going to use my left. You're going to cross, I'm going to play open. Okay, so let's just do a simple beat. Now, the whole time, I don't really have a kick drum this way, and my kick is not, I'm patting my leg, but it's just not going to be loud enough, and it's going to be missing a little bit. And that's okay, because we're going to be working on our hands, but we want to work on our foot coordination as well. But we're just going to have to tap our foot. All right? So, here we go. This is a very basic beat. Now what I would have you do is do a measure of that, and then do a round through using one of your fill exercises. So there we just, and actually I did 2 measures of 4 and then went into my exercise through the toms. And as I've talked about earlier, using a metronome, start slow and speed it up. And the more proficient you'll get, the speed will come as you practice. All right. Well, hopefully you can look around your house and find items that you too can make a practice set. So number 1, take it slow. Use a metronome if you can. Practice those fills and just practice getting familiar and going around the drums, your practice drum set. Well, I'm going to do another video and show you some other options you have in case you don't have drums and you want to learn drums. Go out and have fun and keep the beat.